America looks like shit and feels like shit to live in, and they do it on purpose because it's how they sell you consumerism. When scientists wanted to study addiction in the 1970s, they did a bunch of experiments giving rats the option to either, have heroin water or have normal water. And of course, all the rats were addicted to the heroin water until they learned that in an environment with healthy social relationships, other rats, plenty of things to do, plenty of food, plenty of playing areas, the rats never picked the heroin. We're so quick to say that the ugliness that's a part of capitalism is just a byproduct, but it's actually an essential feature of capitalism. Because if we were surrounded by nature and other people and healthy relationships and walkable communities and so on and so forth, we wouldn't form a relationship with Starbucks. We wouldn't form a relationship with brands. We wouldn't constantly use these things as this comfort blanket of, well, everything sucks, but at least I can go do this. At least I can pay for this, little sliver of experience. And I think this is why capitalism is so exacerbated in America, because it's we're a young country. We don't have culture. We don't have history. We're not like Europe or Asia. We literally are founded on slavery, colonialism, and mass immigration. And we're just a fucking melting pot of all these. And we celebrate it. We say diversity is our strong suit. But really, we're just this homogenized nothingness, right? For corporations to just swoop in and enact their divine right. Obviously, I'm not saying that this is deliberately planned, but it just is so much in favor of the corporations. Why would they want to make anything pretty? Why would they want to conserve public spaces? The biggest players in our society, in our culture, literally do nothing to contribute back to us. And so this is the real reason America has a drug problem. Drugs are not illegal in Spain. Drugs are not illegal in a lot of places in the world. People have very easy access to drugs in a lot of places in the world, and they aren't addicted. Why? Because their environment is better than ours. They have a community. They have walkable places. They're surrounded by nature. They actually appreciate art. There's a culture there. They don't just have this soulless, amorphous fucking video game lobby that is America. And I feel this is all just wrapped in a big bow of irony at the end of the day, because it's crime, drug consumption, degeneracy, all these things that conservatives are staunchly against and are we need to be hard on that. We need to be, traditional, blah, blah, blah. These are all natural symptoms of capitalism that will become more and more exacerbated as capitalism sinks itself deeper into its contradictions. And this is why I used to make so much content about how individualism and these notions of free will are really destructive, because that's sort of we have this moral grandstanding that makes up for these apparent symptoms of capitalism. We just say oh, it's the people's fault. They're just lazy. They could be rich if they tried, blah, blah, blah. On top of capitalism having its contradictions, it's just so deeply anti-human, anti-spirituality, anti-connection and realization. It literally asks you to deny the evidence of your own eyes in favor of some mythical notion of economic progress and prosperity. I don't know. That's all I got.